everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout to share for Cocoa Vanilla Studio. I'm using the really beautiful Bloom and Grow collection, which is quite a new one. I think this is about my fourth or fifth layout using this collection, and I'm determined to use all the papers. I have a couple of sets of this, but I'm trying to use all the papers before I start using them again, if that makes sense. I picked out this really pretty kind of pinky corally coloured background paper there, and I'm planning to use a large portion of that on the page. I've cut a large piece for the top section of the layout, and my plan is to have like a horizontal big floral element along there, as you can see. So I've already got a whole load of fussy cut flowers from previous layouts, and also of course there's the floral ephemera. But yeah, a lot of that is fussy cut from that amazing paper with all the blooms on. So I've got quite a few of those, and quite a few of them were edge pieces, so that's why they haven't been used yet. So that was obviously perfect for this because I could tuck them under that edge there. I've got this one square photo. Quite often don't scrap in square photos. I quite often have portrait photos, so this is slightly out of my comfort zone, and I didn't quite feel that it worked in the middle there, but I didn't quite know what else to do with it, so I went with it, and I kind of made it work. I'm quite happy with the layout in the end, but it just felt there was quite a lot of space either side, and I felt that maybe I should have had a longer, a landscape photo, for example. That might have worked a bit better. But anyway, I've got what I've got, and I'm going to stick with that. Because of course, ironically, the photo was a landscape photo that I cropped. Anyway, I thought I'd make a little bit more of that edge, and I've used the border sticker with the hearts on. So it works really well because it's a white sticker with lots of different coloured hearts, and sitting that over the top of the pattern paper looks really lovely. Then I'm now going to work on my title. So I'm going to heat emboss one of the raw the raw chipboard titles, and I've got my teeny tiny little embossing ink pad there, and I've just pressed that all over the word this, and I will do a draw as well, and I've got two hearts too, just completely covering that in some gold embossing powder, then I'm going to heat emboss those. So definitely this works so well for these raw chipboard titles. I'm not sure what else I would do with them. Potentially you could paint them, but I think they'd need a white layer first if you wanted a colour to really stand out. Acrylic paint would be good. Glitter would be good if you put glue on it first, but for me, I'm absolutely loving the heat embossing. I always love heat embossing. I'm always totally sold on the wow factor. When the powder melts, I'm always like, oh, this is so awesome. I rarely do it. I rarely do it. It's a technique that I forget about regularly until I get a product like this one, which is just crying out for heat embossing, or in my opinion anyway. So I've been really enjoying using these titles and doing the heat embossing. So it's the gold heat emboss powder, a wow one, I think, and it's really, really pretty. So just doing that, I have to hold my pieces down so they don't all fly away with the wind from the the embossing tool. Right, okay, that's my title done, and I think that just looks fabulous. I've just skipped forward a bit now and stuck everything down. So all of those flowers weren't stuck down, but they're now all stuck down. Most of them I have stuck flat along the edge where it meets the pattern paper, and I've raised all the others on foam pads. Sorry, I've raised the other end, the bit that's further away from the middle edge. I've stuck foam pads under there, so they've got some good dimension going on. My Adore This title is going to go across that middle border and across my photo. A little bit controversial because those things shine through the gaps in the title, but actually it looks okay. It doesn't look as good right now on screen, but when I've photographed the layout and when you see it in person, of course, actually it shows up quite well. But on screen right now, it's not looking the best, but it does show up better than that, I promise. Okay, so I've got one of the frames, ephemera frame from the Ephemera, and have cut that in half, and I've put that either side of my photo, so just to widen it a bit, so that whole square thing just wasn't working that well for me. So I've widened it slightly with that frame, and I'm just adding some other bits and pieces. So a few butterflies. Oh, I should also say that I fussy cut out some of the flowers, leaves and things from the Speciality sheet that comes with this collection, and I have tucked those in. I love it. I love the gold foil. It just looks beautiful nestled amongst those flowers, and obviously it goes really well with my gold heat embossed title too. So a few of those are in there, and also some of the butterflies too, and I've got those cut out and positioned at various places over the big cluster. So now I'm just trying to work out what to do with the rest of my photo. Should I extend the clusters either side? But I'm really loving the whole big floral thing at the bottom. So I was worried that anything that I did add wouldn't add much to the layout. It would just make it look a bit cluttered. So I've avoided putting too much either side of the photo. I did go with that small envelope just under the title there to the right. But other than that, I didn't go for that banner. This little flag, the little row of bunting, I've put under the title so it becomes part of the big floral cluster. And then I've just added a few little bits and pieces, so a couple of hearts, a little banner that says Stay Wild, and then at the top I'm going to add some phrase stickers. But like I said, I just didn't want to just keep adding and adding and adding because I wasn't overly happy with the composition of that square photo. And I just thought I'm adding stuff for the sake of it, and it's not really achieving what I wanted to achieve. So I'm just going to go with my original idea, my original design, and go and stick with that and see what happens. And actually, the layout in the end I do quite like. I think if I'd added loads of stuff either side of the photo, it just wouldn't have worked because I've got the big floral cluster at the bottom and it wouldn't be balanced. So I either needed to have a longer photo, a wider photo effectively, or just work with what I've got and embrace the gaps on either side. And I think it's okay. Okay, so just adding in some of those hearts. They're ephemera hearts, so I'm raising them on foam pads. I have put borders around the outside edges of each of those hearts just with a fine black journaling pen, and that's just to make them stand out a little bit more, but also the fact that they're raised on foam pads also helps with that. Just coming in now with a few of the gold hearts, or I thought I was going to come in with a few of the gold hearts from the puffy hearts, but actually they went off again because they weren't working in those places. I could have nestled them amongst the big floral cluster, but actually I'm going to add I've already added my two heat embossed hearts, and that's enough. I have to limit myself sometimes. Just adding in those phrase stickers at the top there. They read together, beautiful and grow together, which is perfect for my sunflower photos. And just adding a few bits down the bottom as well, so enamel dots really, so enamel hearts, and just dotting those around into the cluster and wherever I think that they will work really. I didn't want to go overkill and add too much stuff because I'm going to come in with some gold splatters in a minute as well. But yeah, so just trying to get them to accent what's there. Yeah, I think it's all looking quite nice. It's all got a lot of dimension. It's got, quite a lot going on. Even though I wasn't overly enamoured with the layout in the first place, I got there in the end, and I'm quite happy with it. So now just adding in a few splatters of gold ink or gold paint. I've got a new one. It's a Liquitex one, which comes with a little dropper, and I'm just adding it to a craft sheet, a little bit of water to loosen it up a bit, and then I can splatter it with a paintbrush. So there we go, and it splatters all over my bottom cluster and the white, trying to avoid my photo, but the odd rogue splatter normally gets onto my photo. I normally cover it up, silly me. Okay, so there we go, all done. You can see the layout there and the close-ups of the clusters there, and you can see some of the gold paint there as well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for Cocoa Vanilla Studio using the Bloom and Grow collection.